Yo, what's up? Welcome inside the opening line. Corey and Benny coming at you fresh to death on a fall Tuesday, going into week 7. Coming up today, got a lot of things I want to get into. I want to talk about this LeBron James situation. We got baseball and basketball on deck as well, not to mention the waiver wire, and take our first look at this week's game lines. Benny, what's going on with you? Any good luck last night?
Yeah, it's, Jamal Williams, baby. Jamal Williams coming through plus 400 to get his ass in the end zone. So that was some good luck. I didn't bet the game at all, so I didn't have a side there. Was basically just rooting. I took Jamal Williams to score a touchdown, and I took Aaron Jones to score a touchdown. So Aaron Jones screwed me over, but Jamal Williams came through. I made some money last night. It was a good week in fantasy for me, though, Corey. A lot of my best bowl teams put up some big scores here. Although we do have something that we have to talk about, Corey.
What's that?
Our man Geronimo Allison got knocked the fuck out last night on that play. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see it. Last night I was the football was on in the house. I was out back on the phone watching Ja Morant watching the Grizzlies and the Hornets last night. I had a little bit of action on that. It didn't come through right. I was laying the under because I didn't think that Charlotte Hornets could score 100 points. But after a slow start.
Yeah. Terry Rozier had a good game for them last night, didn't he?
Yes, he did. All of a sudden, it became like a Globetrotter game where every basket was going in. Yeah. And that's when I was like, let me go back to watching the football, which you do got to get into it and break some of that down because definitely saw some horrible officiating in that game. But I want to start with the big story in the NBA, in the NFL, in sports on social media, and that is LeBron James comes out yesterday. And we finally hear his comments on the situation that took place in China. Obviously, we heard earlier in the day where The Athletic reported that after Adam Silver had the meeting with the Nets and the Lakers, LeBron held the players-only meeting, more or less saying what a bad situation Daryl Morey and the NBA had put the players in as far as being over there. And he did mention their financial interests as well as their physical safety and stuff like that, Benny. But LeBron is getting roasted this morning. He's being called a hypocrite. Where do you stand on it, Benny?
So first off, I hate this story. We talked about this last week. I said the best thing the NBA can do right now is just shut the hell up and just let this whole thing go away. So LeBron opening his mouth right now was not smart.
I think LeBron had to speak on it because he was out there and he's the face of the league. And at some point the question was going to come.
But that's fine. When you're talking public relations, right? I was a marketing and economics major in college. So when you're talking public relations, you do not want to let a bad story that's dead come back to life. If it's dead, you want to keep it dead and you want to just kind of move on from it and not talk about it. Now, the other thing too is I know what LeBron wanted to say, but he didn't say what he wanted to say the right way.
Exactly.
And what he wanted to say actually makes sense. What he was basically saying is, listen, Daryl Morey can have those ideas and stuff like that. And if he would have sent that tweet today, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But you don't send that tweet when the spotlight is on the NBA in China because you have teams over there playing games. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to the abortion rally and, talking about Roe v. Wade or something like that. Like there's a time to do it and there's a time not to do it. You don't throw it in their face. And he kind of Daryl Morey kind of threw it in the face of the Chinese fans when all the NBA players were over there. And that was kind of LeBron's point is like, you're putting up, like you were saying, you're putting us in danger. You're, making this a negative event for the league when this was supposed to be a positive thing for the league to draw in fans from overseas, having teams over there. So I get where he was coming from, but the way it came out was more along the lines of like, well, Daryl Morey shouldn't be talking about things he doesn't know about and, that he's not up on. Almost kind of like saying, well, I know more about this situation than Daryl Morey does, and he should kind of shut his mouth. That's the way some people were taking it from his tweet.
It came across as LeBron telling Daryl Morey, shut up and GM. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Basically, he got mad when Laura Ingraham told him to shut up and dribble. That's basically what you just did to Daryl Morey right there. And that's what I think has some people pissed off. Now, listen, the other thing is you're always going to have these crazy social warriors who are going to be like, trying to make a big cause out of this stuff because that's the world we live in right now. You know what I'm saying? So those people you were never going to say the right thing for. You know what I'm saying? No matter what you said, saying anything was going to create some kind of backlash. And that's why I'm saying This is one of those situations where the NBA should just let the damn thing die down, because there's really no reason to be throwing yourself in the middle of an explosive situation right now. Because listen, whether you like it or not, whatever's going on politically between China and the U.S. right now, any little story, this isn't a little story that winds up on ESPN. This is a story that winds up on Fox News, on CNN, on, whatever the equivalent of all those stations in China is, the Chinese-run media and all that stuff. None of it is good press. So if you're the NBA or the NBA players or anybody involved with the NBA, now is the time to just shut up and let this thing move on. You should have one point person. It should be Silva, who's basically talking about it, and everybody else should just kind of stay away and worry about the fact that we got an NBA basketball season that is literally 1 week away from tonight. Literally. And that's where the focus should be. The focus should not be what NBA players think about China. I don't give a shit what NBA players think about China. If you're looking for NBA players to give you worldly advice and political advice, then you're a moron in the first place. I want to hear the NBA players talking about the NBA. Keep that other stuff out of it. There's nothing good that's going to come of you making any kind of comments right now.
My thing is, with everybody that's taking the shots at LBJ and stuff like that, I get where you're coming from with the hypocrisy and all of that commentary. But what I would say is this: when does this become a Brooklyn Nets, Los Angeles Lakers thing? When does this become a Houston Rockets thing, or a James Harden or a Daryl Morey thing? Hell, when does this become a LeBron James thing? As a matter of fact, it's not even an Adam Silver thing. Shouldn't the United States government elected officials be the people that we should be looking forward to when it comes to our relationships with China, Benny, and not the NBA?
100%. But I mean, and this, again, I don't want to go on a political tangent here, but this is part of the problem when you have a dysfunctional, government up at the top, is that that's stuff that they should be handling. You should, again, like I said, you should not be looking for NBA players to give you your political and your, social consciousness. You know what I mean? If that's what you're doing, then you got bigger problems in the world anyway, because that is not what they're doing. That is not their job. These are not the most educated people on all these issues right now. I'm not the most educated people on all these issues because, frankly, I don't care. I don't really care what's going on in Hong Kong and China. There are people who study this stuff. There are people who are up on it. Those are the people who should be the point people on this. We shouldn't be asking NBA players what their thoughts are on China or the Kurds invading Turkey or anything like that. That's not why I tune into the NBA. I tune into the NBA to watch NBA basketball, to get away from what's going on in life, the crazy stuff that you have going on in life. That's what sports has always been. It's supposed to be an escape from, the rigors of your day and all the craziness that goes on. Give you something to root for, give you something to smile about and be happy and kind of watch. We need to get back to that point in time, Corey. I don't want to hear my athletes. Again, I'm not saying that they don't have a platform and they shouldn't use that platform, but really, we're hearing more about what LeBron James thinks about this than we are about what the ambassador to China thinks about this.
Exactly.
The ambassador to China knows a lot more about this than LeBron James does. If you really want to know what's up, let's get his opinion on it. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. I agree with you with that one. And as far as the other causes LeBron is taking up, those things right here at home, I believe he's well versed to speak about that.
Yeah.
Obviously today, at any time today, if Dick Stain Donald gets in front of a microphone, I'm quite sure he'll have a quotation directed at LeBron James. That's one of the people that he likes to go after, much like he did with Steve Kerr last week. And as far as the final thoughts on this is, Benny, the biggest moment of LeBron James' career will be here next summer, and that's the release of Space Jam 2. And let me tell you something. There's 1.4 billion people in China, Benny. And guess what? He wants them to go see Space Jam 2.
Oh, yeah. He'll make a lot of money for it. I mean, listen, what LeBron's done with the kids and the school and everything that he's done there is awesome. And you know what? That's stuff that he can talk about. He grew up in that area. He helped out the people in that area. That's what we should be talking about. We shouldn't be talking about LeBron James and what he thinks about China. This is not a LeBron James issue. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. Is this really just everybody keep your mouth shut. Let this thing blow over. Let the people who are in charge of handling this stuff handle this stuff. And let's talk about basketball. That's where we should be right now.
Adam Silver is the point person for this right now. This should run through Adam Silver, and I think Adam Silver will be able to get this worked out, even if he has to phone a friend. Mm-hmm. Let's get ready to hop into some of this waiver wire talk, Benny, and let's start at the quarterback position with your guy. It ain't the same darn old Jets.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he's probably available in one quarterback leagues because you would assume that when the mono thing came down, people probably just dropped him, right? So Listen, the Jets looked a million times better in that game than they did the 3 or 4 games that I watched before that where Luke Falk was behind center. He helps everybody out. The weapons on the Jets are really not that bad. I mean, Robbie Anderson is a good guy to stretch the field. Jamison Crowder is a great underneath receiver. Demaryius Thomas apparently still has something left if you put him in the right system. And hopefully this week, if not, probably next week, they'll have Chris Herndon back too. And then you got Le'Veon Bell. So, I mean, as far as weapons go, Sam Darnold's got weapons that he can use. So this offense is going to be a little bit better. Do you pick him up in a one quarterback league right now, Corey? I don't really think so. Maybe if you need him for a bye week. I mean, there's no Baker Mayfield this week. There's no Kyle Allen this week. There's no Clemson this week.
Point anyway.
But again, I mean, think about it. We have 5 or 6 backup quarterbacks playing already, right? If you have Baker Mayfield, again, I mean, he's the worst quarterback in the league statistics-wise, but, there's still people who drafted him and are holding on to him. Sam Darnold in a 2-quarterback league absolutely should be owned and started. In a 1-quarterback league, though, I still kind of feel like he's on the outside looking in. Maybe if you need him for a bye week as a 1-week replacement, that's about it. But I wouldn't go too crazy with it.
A couple of running backs, like I said, very light week on the waiver wire. A couple of running backs could be interesting. Chase Edmonds and Benny Snell. Benny Snell, who I've held on to in a couple of leagues at the request of, not at the request, but, that's a Jeff Mann's guy right there.
So I think both of these guys, I was on Chase Edmonds last week telling people to pick him up. He got a touchdown, so if you had to start him, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. But both of these guys have the same problem right now, is that they're not the number one. Now, remember, there was a big lead in that game for the Pittsburgh Steelers, so they were able to kind of run Snell and give James Conner a little bit of a break. Pittsburgh is one of the 4 teams that has a bye this week. So if you need a running back for this week, Benny Snell's not going to help you.
Yeah.
But, again, if you want to just pick him up and stash him, throw him on the bench there and hope you can get something out of him later on. But I really feel like one way or another with both of these guys, you're going to need an injury to make either one of them, viable. I will say this, though. If you get an injury to James Conner and David Johnson, let's talk about it on that way. Which of the 2 guys would you rather have? Because to me, I think Chase Edmonds has the bigger upside in that situation than a Benny Snell does.
I would agree with you. You look at that offense that Chase Edmonds is in and what they're trying to do. And I think that Arizona Cardinal team gets a little bit better every week. Wide receivers is kind of light. Well, we talked about Demaryius Thomas yesterday. I know me and you both agree on Demaryius Thomas. Auden Tate should just be about owned in the majority of leagues. I always kind of look at the people that watch a program like this as a more savvier owner, and it's probably in the more savvier league. So I would say that he's already owned, and he should be being started in 12-team leagues right now, especially if you start 3 wides. He's getting it done. Cole Beasley and Phil Dorsett, Benny, 2 interesting names that could be on the wire.
Yeah, I would definitely be interested in Philip Dorsett if somebody wound up dropping him. Listen, you got the little injury situation, so you got to make sure that he's going to be healthy and back there. But that's a team right now. Julian Edelman got hurt in the last game, so we don't know what his status is like. He's somebody that's been banged up. Gordon's been banged up even though he's been playing. There's no more Antonio Brown there. This Patriots team, wide receiver was the thing at the beginning of the season that we said they were thin at. And then all of a sudden they got this whole influx of guys coming in with Antonio Brown signing and Josh Gordon getting reinstated and all that stuff. But now Brown's out of the picture, and now, like I said, you got injuries that you're dealing with. Gordon played that whole game, and, Edelman actually left early in that game. Guys like Jacoby Myers, guys like Philip Dorsett, if these guys are on your waiver wire, you kind of want to look at them because Tom Brady's going to throw the ball. Tom Brady's going to pick up yards. Neither one of these guys is going to be the number one, but they could both wind up playing 60, 70% of snaps and maybe even more depending on how some of the injury history comes out. So Philip Dorsett, I would definitely want to have a piece of, and Jacoby Myers is a little bit of a bigger flyer. He really needs Philip Dorsett to be out for him to have any kind of value.
Yeah, no doubt. So I would look at those 2 guys, like Benny mentioned, where that value comes in at. Tight end, I think is Noah Fant, and you could have Hunter Henry on the waiver wire.
Yeah, if Hunter Henry's on the waiver wire, run right now. Literally pause this and go make sure Hunter Henry is on your team if he's on the waiver wire. Hunter Henry was a top 5, top 6 wide receiver during draft week. And then he got hurt. Somebody dropped him. He definitely needs to be in there. I mean, what did he have last week? 8 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns or something. There are literally 5 tight ends in the entire freaking league that can put up a stat line like that. So if he's on your waiver wire, go get him. I want to go back to wide receiver for a second, though, Corey. Last night, with Geronimo Allison getting hurt and Devontae Adams being down, Green Bay is very low on the wide receivers at this moment. Now, obviously, Marquez Valdez-Scantling it should be owned in whatever league that you're in, so you're not going to get him. But the guy that I'm a little bit interested in is Alan Lazard.
He was good last night.
He caught the touchdown after the, phantom hand to the face penalty. But he also had another chance to catch a touchdown, and he had another pass. I don't know if you remember this, but he was the one who actually dropped the ball on like the 1 or 2 yard line, or it hit him in the chest or face mask and bounced up
and
for the,
intercepted.
Yeah, for the interception. But at the very least, that Aaron Rodgers is looking at him. The guy's, I think he's like 6'4", so he's a big wide receiver. He's somebody that could be out there. Alan Lazard could be somebody that you could steal for $1 this week that could wind up being a starting wide receiver for this team that plays the next couple weeks. Because Devontae Adams, if I'm not mistaken, they were saying he could be out a couple weeks. And like I said, Geronimo Allison last night, it was a good pass. He had to go low to get it. The safety went low to try to intercept it, and it was straight helmet to helmet. He wasn't moving. When literally the referee went over, they called the trainers out right away. I would be shocked if Geronimo Allison is back on the field this week, which sucks for a lot of my best ball teams because he's a guy that I have a lot of. But you can make up for it if you go out right now, throw in $1 bid for a guy like I think it's Alan, right? His first name. And I got to look this up. Yeah, Alan Lazard. Throw in $1 bid for Alan Lazard. I think he's going to be somebody that could have some value.
I think he's an Iowa State dude. And I agree with Benny on that. That's a good call right there with Lazard. All right, let's get ready, Benny. Let's take a first look at some of these numbers for this week coming up in the NFL. See if we can start to get some early leans, and hopefully we can figure it out by Friday. This is my first time really taking a look at these, Benny, so you kind of get an initial reaction. KC and Denver on Thursday night. It opens up with the Chiefs laying 4.5 on the road, and it's been bet down to the Chiefs laying 3.5 on the road.
I'm on the Chiefs here. I know the Chiefs haven't looked good, but I wrote up the Monday-Thursday article, and here's the thing. Even when the Chiefs don't look good, they still put up 25, 30 points. You look at the Denver Broncos this season, I think the most points they've scored in a game is 24. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying it's going to be an easy sailing, and I'm not saying that the Chiefs are going to just dominate them, but if the Chiefs put up 2 touchdowns, they win the game because I don't see Denver putting up 25, 30 points. Like Denver wants to play games 17-14. They want to win games 24-17. Denver is not going to be able to win a game 30-24. And that's pretty much the games like the Kansas City Chiefs play. So I have no problem, especially with the spread coming down. I'll lay the 3.5 with the Chiefs, even with them on the road.
You know what's wrong with the Chiefs right now?
Well, besides their defense?
Besides their defense.
Go ahead, what?
What they're missing.
A running back?
There you go.
I'm going to be honest. They have the most dynamic passing game in the league. Tight end and like 5 wide receivers that are all good. Sammy Watkins could be back this week. Tyreek Hill is back now. DeMarcus Robinson, Mecole Hardman. Those guys are all legit. Like those are all legit. Yeah, and then Travis Kelce had tight end as well. I mean, they have legit passing game, but I don't like their running game at all. Their defense is horrendous. At the beginning of the year, we were like, can we just play the Chiefs and the Patriots now and let everybody else go? I don't think that's the case. I think the shine is kind of off this Kansas City Chiefs team right now.
What I will say is this, and I don't mean to be controversial, you know what I'm saying? And probably because they have Tyreek Hill on their roster already, they had to do what they did with Kareem Hunt, but it was a bad idea for them to let Kareem Hunt walk. You know what I'm saying? Because that they knew about that tape, and there's a lot of stuff swirling around that too. So Kareem Hunt is going to be missed, is definitely missed on Kansas City's offense. Maybe he can be an addition to the Browns offense in a couple of weeks. Don't forget, if he's on your waiver wire, he's about 2 weeks away or 3 weeks away also. Yeah. If you got the real estate, maybe $1 on Kareem Hunt, even though Chubb is getting the job done. Let's go to Sunday, Benny. Green Bay and Oakland. Green Bay is a home favorite. It opened up at 7, bet down to 6.5. A lot of early sharp money coming in on the Raiders.
Yeah, so I try to do my own lines every week, like think about where things should be so that when I see the line come out, if it's off, I could say, what, am I wrong or is Vegas wrong? And most of the time it's you, but, it's also a way that you can kind of find a line that you think there's some value in. I had this game pegged at 7. So this is the exact line that I thought it was going to be when it came out. At 6.5, I guess there's a little bit of value, but, I'm on the Green Bay side of this. I like Green Bay. 7 points was what I thought it would be. So if it's 6.5, I guess there's a little bit of value there.
I think this number will continue to come down. I think the Raiders are going to be a trendy dog in this game. Right now, I would say no bet. Interesting to see where this one lands at. But at 6.5, where it's at right now, I don't like it. I would like the Raiders much better at 7.5. But I don't see me betting the Green Bay in this game.
Yeah, to be honest, I want to see how things work out with this wide receiver core too.
No doubt.
If they're going in there with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Lazard, who we just talked about, and Jake Kumaro as their wide receiver trio, I'm not going to like him as much as when it's Devontae Adams, MVS, and Geronimo Allison.
Let's go to – should we do Buffalo, Miami?
Yeah, I love Buffalo.
They're laying –
How many points is it?
They opened up at 15.5. Buffalo home favorites. They've been bet up to 16.5. Once again, a lot of public and sharp money coming in on the Miami Dolphins. I can't lay 2 touchdowns with the Bills, but I wouldn't put one red penny on the Dolphins.
I don't think I would take that many points either, but I'm not. The sharp money is on the Dolphin side. Good for them. I'm not joining them there. The Dolphins are that bad that if they lost by 3 touchdowns, I wouldn't be shocked. So I can't put my money on that side. With the Dolphins, to me, it's always can I lay the number of points they want me to lay on whoever they're playing? And I kind of agree with you. I don't know if I really want to lay more than 2 touchdowns with the Buffalo Bills.
Oh, here we go right here, Benny. The Los Angeles Rams travel to Atlanta to take on the Falcons. It opens up at 4. Big money comes in on both sides on the Rams. It drops down to Falcons +3. I absolutely love the Atlanta Falcons this week. This is the game the Falcons win.
I'm not going to be –
I haven't been wrong with the Falcons yet this year, Benny.
I'm going to tell you this. I'm not against it. I said that this line is probably going to come in. I thought that the Rams would be 3 points. So if you're giving me more than a field goal, that's a key number for me. +3.5, I'd probably be on the Atlanta side.
Yeah, this is the game Atlanta wins. And then what happens is
next – You bet them outright?
I would bet them on the money line.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. I might even just sprinkle – put it this way. I'll probably take the 3.5, but – if I was going to bet, my normal bet's like $200. I may go 100 and 100. I may go 100 on the 3.5 or 150 on the 3.5 and sprinkle 50 or 100 on the money line too to give me what's the money line? Is it 2?
Hold on one
Plus
second.
180? Do we get 200 on it or no?
I do this all the time too. And Vinny, you can really find out a lot about what Vegas thinks by where the money line is at. Mm-hmm. The money line on this game right here. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the total. The money line is
should be like +160-ish or something, right?
It is +136. That money line lets you know right there that they think Atlanta can win this game.
Yeah.
The Rams at -156. That is going to blow up some parlays, brother. Because that's a good parlayable number right there. I'm on Atlanta this one. Then next Monday, everybody becomes talking about how Atlanta screwed them over again. But Atlanta's becoming an easy team to bet for me.
Just so you guys know, like a lot of times a 3-point favorite in the NFL tends to be a -150 favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're getting more than 3 points, you would expect more than 150, and 156 is not much more, which kind of leads me to believe that Vegas thinks there's definitely – they don't want to give you too good a number here because I think they think there's a chance that this game could lose too. So that's pretty interesting.
Minnesota and Detroit, this one goes off as a pick'em. It opened up as a pick'em. It's moved up to Detroit as a 1-point favorite. Of course, the big money is coming in on Minnesota, seeing how they beat up on Philadelphia last week. Now you get Kirk Cousins on the road in the division. Put the mortgage on the Lions.
Yeah, I'm on the Lions side of this. I mean, the Lions got cheated last night. They should have won that game.
Yep.
They came out on fire. They looked good. I think I'm going to be on the Lions side of this game right now. You said the Lions are favored?
Yep, the Lions are a 1-point favorite.
Yeah. All right, so 1 point. So it's basically a pick.
I would not be surprised if this game goes off with Minnesota as a 1-point favorite.
So in that case, I'm not going to put my money down now because I'm on the Lions side of this. I do hope that it swings to the other side. If it goes to the other side and I can get plus money on the Lions, I'll take the money line straight up. I think they win this game.
I agree. Tough one right here, Benny. Houston, Indianapolis. It's in Indianapolis. It opens up with the Colts as a 1-point favorite. The public money has come in on the Houston side of it. Not a big sharp money, but about a 10% sharp money lean to the Colts side of it. This looks like a pick'em to me, this game right here. If I had to bet it, I would bet the Colts at home.
What's the over-under on this game?
The total is, let me see what the total on this game is. The total on this contest,
Under 47?
48.
I'll take the under. Give me the under on this game right now. I actually, that's the way I was kind of looking to play this game. I think this game's a complete toss-up. Like, I think both of these teams are good. But I do think that the Colts are going to try to slow this game down. So I don't think you're going to get the big, huge scoring output you've gotten from Houston in a couple of these recent games. I have a feeling this game could end something like 24-17 or something like that. They're going to try to keep this game a little bit lower scoring. So 48 is a lot of points, Corey. I like the under here more than I like betting on either side of this game. Because I wouldn't be shocked if either one of these teams wins. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, no doubt. If anything, I would money line the Colts because I think this game could end 21-20. To be 100% honest with you.
Which is another under, so that would be good. Yeah, I definitely think 48 seems like too high. This may come down before the end of the week.
Interesting to see where that total ends up at. Arizona, fresh off their win versus the Falcons, travel to New York to take on the Giants. Giants opened up at a 3-point favorite. It gets bet down to 2.5, even though most of the tickets and the money are on the Giants. It shows you that the sharp money is on Arizona. I don't know if I can agree with the sharp money on Arizona because you have that dreaded West Coast team coming east for that 1 o'clock start. This right here, Benny, is probably a no bet for me. Do you have a lean on this?
I would probably be on the Giants side, especially if you're going to give me the hook and, at 2.5 there.
They still gave you the hook here, 2.5.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You said it was 3, and now it dropped down to 2.5. So, I mean, if the Giants win by a field goal, I get my money. So, I'd probably be on the Giants side of this. I tell you what I will be on, though, Corey. There will be a lot of Golden Tate. There will be a good amount of Daniel Jones in my lineups this week. I don't want to make too much about this game now because we have no idea who's even playing for the Giants. I mean, you still have Saquon Barkley, Sterling Shepard, and Evan Ingram all listed as questionable right here. I know they had the short week because they had the long week because they had the Thursday game here, but I don't know if any of those guys are going to play. They were all there at the walkthrough yesterday. They were all out on the field, but I want to get some. I want to get some, feedback on if any of these guys are going to be out there playing. I'd assume Barkley's still going to be out, but Shepard very well may be out. But I don't think that's a big loss because you can plug Golden Tate right into that. Evan Ingram is the guy that I really want to play. If Evan Ingram plays, you could pretty much just lock in Daniel Jones, Evan Ingram, Golden Tate as a threesome in your daily fantasy lineups right now.
This total right here is 49.5. I would bet the over on this total. Especially if the Giants get some of those weapons back.
Oh, absolutely.
San Francisco travels to Washington for that 1 p.m. start. West Coast team coming east for that 1 p.m. start. San Fran opens up -8.5. They've been pushed up to -9.5. You still that 10-point victory will still get you that W. I would probably lay the 9.5 with the Niners, especially the way they're playing right now. I think a better bet, though, Benny, would probably to be if that see what that DC team total is at and hit the under on that DC team total. Let me head over to FanDuel right now. They don't have it up yet. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, it'll probably take it. They usually don't put those up to like the middle of the week or so. So we may have to wait till Wednesday to get that number. But I have San Francisco -10 here is what I wrote down. So if they're giving under 10 being kind of a key number, yeah, I agree with you. I'm on the San Francisco side of this. Dude, I've been banging the drum on San Francisco all season. This is a very good football team. They may not have the big names. Their big names are all on defense, but they have an offense that's kind of like I kind of look at them like the Patriots almost a little bit, where there's no huge superstars on the offense, but they get production from everybody. Everybody on that offense gives them a little something, and at the end of the day, the offense does enough to help the defense out, and they're going to win a lot of football games. Now, this is a West Coast, East Coast trip too, though, Corey, which is always something that I worry about because a lot of times you'll get slow starts. But this Washington team just sucks, and San Francisco's better on both sides of the ball.
Exactly, and there's nothing they can do. That team is getting ready to throw in the damn towel. Jacksonville and Cincinnati, the winless Bengals. Jacksonville coming off a loss also. Opened up at 3, been bet up to 3.5. lot of money. The public and the sharps pouring in on the Jacksonville Jaguars on this one. Man, a team falling to 0-7 at home, Benny, is not something I like to bet on. But it's no way I would bet on the Bengals in this game. It'll probably be a leave alone for me.
Yo, did you ever see that movie Annapolis with James Franco?
No.
Where they're at the Naval Academy and it's the boxing movie and he boxes whoever that was, it Tyrese, the model or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Sweet.
All right, so you know the movie I'm talking about. So there's a part in the movie.
Jody from Baby Boy.
Yeah. So there's a part in that movie where it's James Franco, and then there's the heavyset black kid who's like his best friend, the only one who talks to him, and he talks about being Alabama versus Mississippi, where the only reason that he's not the worst state is because of Mississippi or whatever I forget, or Alabama. I forget which way it went. But that's kind of the way I feel like the Cincinnati Bengals are right now. Because Miami is so freaking bad, we don't talk about how bad the Bengals are.
Yeah.
But if Miami wasn't in the NFL this year, the Bengals would be the team we're talking about like Miami. They're that bad. So if it's only, 3.5?
Yeah.
I'm all over the Jaguars at 3.5. I just think Cincinnati absolutely sucks.
I can dig that. The Clippers, that's the Chargers. The Clippers and I just call them the Clippers whenever I see LA.
LAC, I knew exactly where you were going with. I knew what you were talking about.
When I see LAC, I think Clippers. Opens up as a pick. Now, here's interesting. Open up as a pick. The public backs the Chargers. Big, sharp money on the Titans. Makes the Titans a 2-point favorite.
Dude, the Chargers' biggest mistake was letting Melvin Gordon play. Melvin Gordon's looked horrible, and it's affected the way they were. Without Melvin Gordon, they were averaging 23, 24 points a game. Since Melvin Gordon's come back, they're averaging like 15 points a game. The yardage is down. The first down, third down conversions are down. Some first downs are down. Like literally every stat, every offensive stat across the board, if you look, they've been worse since Melvin Gordon's been in there. I really don't think Melvin Gordon is the only one who thought Melvin Gordon was worth the money that Melvin Gordon is trying to get. I don't understand why they're even letting him play at this point in time. They're better with Austin Eckler in there. So, it's a pick 'em right now, and it's at LA.
Yep. No, it's in Tennessee.
Oh, in Tennessee? Give me the Titans.
Yeah, I would lay the 2 with the Titans also.
Yep.
New Orleans and Chicago. New Orleans comes in New Orleans opens up as a 3-point dog. The public slams the Saints, right?
Uh-huh.
But it gets bet up to 3.5. So the little bit of sharp money that's coming in on the Bears is heavy sharp money. The Bears are now currently laying 3. I'm seeing 3.5, but I know there's some 3s out there. I would lay the Bears. As much as I hate Mitch Trubisky, I would lay the Bears or stay away. And I hate being on the wrong side of the Saints. I have been the past 2 weeks on the wrong side of the Saints. So it's more than likely I'd probably stay away, Benny.
Yeah.
It's like a trap game to me, though.
Yeah, I actually have the Saints being favored here on my initial look. So I would bet this. I would bet the Saints.
You're going to stick with it.
Yeah,
see, I believe in the trap game, Benny. Like I like this so much that I would even say, well, you can't play Mitchell Trubisky, but for DFS, I think you probably should. Well, it's hard to start lineups with Allen Robinson when you got that Saints secondary. That's interesting. I think that I like the Bears. I like the Bears here.
Now, is Trubisky playing?
Against the Saints.
Is Trubisky playing?
We're not sure yet.
Yeah, I mean, I would actually, again, I would like my Saints bet even more if Mitch Trubisky was playing. Chase Daniels is at least – I mean, listen, Chase Daniels isn't going to win you a Super Bowl, but at least to me, he's at least competent. I think he's better than Mitch Trubisky right now, for them at least. So I still – like I said, I would be on the Saints if I can get – I thought the Saints were going to be favored when this line came out. I really did because, I mean, maybe I'm just that down on the Chicago Bears, but – I'm that down on the Chicago Bears that I thought the Saints would be favored in this game, even on the road. So if the Bears are favored, I would even be looking to money line the Saints. What am I getting on Saints money line if they're minus 3.5? That's got to be like a plus 140, plus 150.
The Saints money line is currently the Saints money line opened up at plus 183. Now the Bears money line opened up at minus 206, Benny. Right now the Saints are plus 146.
And it's a 3.5 point spread, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like this is what I was talking about. You know, they opened up at 3.5 points or 3 points, and the Bears are minus 200. What was the other game we talked about? The Houston game, right?
Yep.
Where, you know, the favorite there was 3.5 points and they were minus 160.
Yep.
So that kind of tells you what you need to know about which way Vegas thinks this one's going to be, which really should say that, you know, the Bears are probably live. I just can't get myself to bet the Bears. If anything, Corey, I'll stay away from this game.
Yeah.
But no, you know what? Fuck it. I mean,
the Bears are a contrarian favorite.
yes, they absolutely are. Like I said, because I thought the Saints would be favored in this game. And whenever I see something that I thought the other team was going to be favored and the other team comes in at -3, that's usually a game that I'm looking to bet. So I'm going to have to bet the Saints. I got to stick with my gut and my system, but I don't feel very good about it.
No, I wouldn't either, especially the fact that there's 3 4 o'clock games this week. This one is a 4:25 start. This is a game that a lot of eyes are going to be on. This game is probably going to take a lot of action. I can't bet the Saints in this game. But I guarantee you, man, this will be my last week. If I lose this week, I will not bet against the Saints no more.
Yeah, I will have at least something on the Saints. Like, I'm going to have at least $100 on them. I don't know if I'll go the full 1 unit for me. Maybe I'll just go half, but
yeah,
I'm going to have something on the Saints this week.
Baltimore and Seattle. Go to Seattle. Opens up with Baltimore catching 4 on the road. Bet down to the Seahawks laying 3.5. I like Baltimore in this game, Benny.
I really want.
I want them at. I'll probably buy them at 4.5, but I'm down at 3.5 of the Ravens.
I want them at 3. I want Seattle. I should say. I want Seattle down to 3. So if this keeps coming down and I can get Seattle at 3, I'll take it. I'm not giving more than a field goal, though, because we talk about this all the time. You go and look at the Seattle games this year.
They don't blow people out.
No, it's like win by field goal, lose by 2, win by 3, win by 4. Like, you can't ever lay big numbers on Seattle. And I'll take a big number on Seattle anything. If Seattle's a 7-point underdog at some point, I'll take them all the time because they always stay in games. They never get blown out, but they also never blow anybody out. So if I'm like, this is one of those situations where the hook means a lot to me. You know, like a lot of times the hook, I'll be like, whatever, 3.5, I'll still bet them. I won't bet them at 3.5, but I will bet them if it gets down to 3.
I'm just going to be interesting to see if they come down to 3 at any point this week. I don't think the Seahawks get the. I think the Ravens keep the hook all week long. Dallas and Philadelphia on Sunday night. You got Dallas opens up as a 2.5-point home favorite. Been bet down to 2. The tickets and the money on the Philadelphia Eagles on this one, which is odd because the Dallas Cowboys are obviously a very public team, especially on a Sunday night game. I'm moneylining the Cowboys.
I'm going to wait until I find out what's up with Amari Cooper.
No doubt. That makes sense, yes.
Because if Amari Cooper's not in there,
I'm not betting it because I'm not betting against Dallas.
Yeah, because listen, I mean, the strongest part, and we've seen this with a lot of good running backs. We've seen it many, many times before with the Eagles. The strongest part of the Eagles' defense is the front 7. Again, I'm not saying that Zeke won't be able to run on them, but I want to know what's going on with the 2 tackles on Dallas. I want to know what's going on with it. Listen, the reason Dallas lost to the Jets is not because the Jets are a really good team. The reason Dallas lost to the Jets is because Dallas is like in shambles right now with the injury situation. And I know you hate to hear this as a Dallas Cowboy guy, but you got to be honest. I mean, when both of your tackles are banged up, your number 1 wide receiver is kind of out there. You know,
corners left the game on Sunday too, but it's not an excuse.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's not an excuse, but when you're betting on teams, when you're betting on a team, those are things that some people, they just go, oh, yeah, the Dallas Cowboys, they're pretty good. We're going to bet here. No, you got to look and see who's playing and who's not playing. If you're playing with, again, 2 all-pro tackles that are now going to be 2 backup tackles, your cornerbacks who weren't really all that great, but they were decent. Now you're playing with like 4th and 5th string cornerbacks. And your number 1 wide receiver is now out. So now Michael Gallup's now your number 1. You got to figure out who's going to play on that other side. Like, is it going to be Randall Cobb? Are they going to keep Cobb in the slot? Is Jason Witten going to have to be a guy who sees 8 to 9 targets this game in order to get them through it? Because I don't want Jason Witten seeing 9 targets at this point. You know what I mean? So, like, if everybody's healthy on paper, I'd rather have Dallas. But with the players that I know are a little bit banged up right now, if these guys aren't playing, I can't back the Dallas side of this, even with them at home.
If you want to look at a game prop on this one, you could probably get at a very good number. If you can get a game prop where this game finishes as a tie and goes to overtime, I would bet that this game goes to overtime too. Normally you get those at like plus 750. So you can only put a couple dollars on it, and maybe you might be able to hit a big one on that. Finally, Benny, Monday Night Football. New England Patriots travel up the turnpike. Well, not up the turnpike. Travel down the road to come to take on the New York Jets. It opened up with the Jets catching 9.5 at home. The Jets are now a 10-point underdog.
That's not enough points. Not enough points.
Oh, I love the Jets in this spot right here. This is the back door. Give me 10.5. This is the backdoor cover. I know you've lost to New England too much, Benny. I know.
I'm a Jets fan, man. I've been a Jets fan for too long in my life. Where I just, I might be the most cynical Jets fan in the world, Corey. Like again, I mean, I didn't like them last week. I sat here shocked that they wound up beating Dallas. I hope for the best, but I prepare for the worst. It's like the Jets are like rooting for the Jets is like a hurricane, Corey. You prepare for the worst and you hope for the best, and that's kind of the way I do. But for me, if I had to put my hard-earned money on it, my hard-earned money is not going on the Jets.
I don't got no beef with you on that one. All right, Benny, let's get ready for a little bit of NBA, hit some baseball, and get out of here. Got 3 games on the preseason slate tonight. Want to just get your opinions because I'll probably lay a little something down, try to turn some stuff over before we get to the big days on the weekend. Minnesota and Indianapolis. Minnesota, the T-Wolves and the Pacers. I'm saying Indianapolis, I'm thinking the Colts. The T-Wolves and the Pacers. So far in the preseason, the T-Wolves are 0-2, 0-2 versus the spread. The totals, they've gone over once, they've gone under once. The Pacers have played 3 preseason games. They're 3-0. They're 3-0 versus the spread.
Yep.
And those 2 games, they have 2 overs and 1 under. Anything you can tell us about this? I know it's basketball on short notice.
Yeah, no. Minnesota actually does have a win this preseason, but it wasn't against an NBA. Yeah, they beat they beat the Tel Aviv. Yeah, they beat the Israeli team or so. So they do actually have a win. But with that being said, they've lost to the NBA teams that they played. Indiana, even without Victor Oladipo right now, is a team that I like a lot. Do you know who Indiana's starting 5 is right now?
Who's that?
They did a really good job in the offseason. They picked up T.J. Warren. So T.J. Warren starting at the 3. Jeremy Lamb from Charlotte starting at the 2. Malcolm Brogdon is their starting point guard right now. So you add those 3 guys to Sabonis and Miles Turner. That's a legit 5 right now, and they're not even playing without their best player. So for me, if I'm going to pick one side of this game, it's going to be the Indiana Pacers side. I just think the Pacers are deeper. I think they have more overall talent. I just think they're a better team. The over-under, I try not to mess with over-unders in the preseason because over-unders really come down to how well your third unit plays against their third unit in the last 8 minutes of the fourth quarter. So I'll stick away from them. How many points do I have to lay on the Pacers today?
4.
5?
4.
4? Take the Pacers.
Later 4 with the Pacers. Detroit Pistons and Philadelphia 76ers in Philadelphia. So far on the preseason, Detroit is 2-1 overall, 2-1 versus the spread, 1-2 over under. So Detroit is playing to the under. The 76ers are 3-0 overall, 2-0 against the spread, and 1-1 when it comes to the total.
So Blake Griffin hasn't played yet in the preseason, if I'm not mistaken, or I know he sat out the last game because I was looking at the last game, and I know he sat out that one. I mean, I just don't see how Detroit has the talent to hang with Philly here unless Philly decides to sit a bunch of guys. So unless I hear that a bunch of these guys are sitting for Philly, I definitely want to be on the Philly side. The Philly starting 5 is ridiculous as well. You're talking Ben Simmons at the point, Josh Richardson at the 2, Tobias Harris at the 3, Al Horford at the 4, Joel Embiid at the 5. The problem is they don't have a bench, which has been the problem that they've had for a while, but that's a legit stud starting 5 right there.
The 76ers laying 2.5.
Yeah, I'd take the Sixers side. I'd be on the Sixers side.
Finally, tonight, NBA preseason, we have the Boston Celtics traveling to Cleveland to take on the Cavaliers. Boston 3-0 on the preseason, 2-1 against the spread, 0-3 to the under, Benny, versus the Cavaliers, 0-2 on the season, 0-2 versus the spread, also 0-2 to the under. Beeline is the coach of the Cavaliers.
Yep.
When we look at this one right here, Benny, coming in, we have Boston laying 3.5 on the road with a total at 213.
That is absolutely ridiculous. These 2 teams just played 2 days ago. Boston beat them by about 40. I forget the final. No, seriously, go look it up. I want to say it was It was either Saturday or Sunday they played, and the final score was like was like Boston 129 and Cleveland like 87. So if all you're asking me to lay is 3.5 points, because put it this way, that game I think was in Boston. This one's in Cleveland right now. The switch from Boston to Cleveland is not worth 35 points, Corey. So you definitely, to me, Boston's the best bet tonight. Boston's the team I want to be on today.
All right, so there you go right there. That is tonight in the NBA. Obviously, 4 p.m. Eastern time, Benny. This afternoon, me and you, our eyes will be locked to Fox as Garrett Cole and Luis Severino take square off in a humongous game in the Boogie Down Bronx Game 3 of the American League Championship Series. Obviously, I'll be putting a couple dollars on the Yankees money line because I'm not going to sit up here and bet on the Houston Astros.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on the Yankees for the series. I am not going to be betting against Garrett Cole today, though.
Oh, okay.
So I won't put any more money on it. Just a quick one out there for you DFS guys. I know Scott did a write-up this morning. I actually thought I was doing baseball. This is the problem with this time of year. We have too many sports going on, and I actually have a whole bunch of notes because I thought I was doing baseball today. I'm actually on a basketball article today. But the one thing that I actually was going to write up in my baseball article today, if I would have done it, is this is the game you want your pitching from. The other game is the game you want your hitting from. You don't want to be taking a lot of bats against Garrett Cole. You don't want to be taking a lot of bats against Luis Severino. So if you're going to be on anything in these games for DFS, be on the pitcher side of it, which is also why I kind of like the under in this game if I was going to make a bet on it.
All right, there you go. And then obviously tonight we got Hudson and Corbin with Nationals and Cardinals. And Benny's already said he likes the bats better in these games right here. And you like the Nationals tonight too, right?
No. I would actually take the Cardinals. I think this is the one game the Cardinals can win. I have not been impressed with Patrick Corbin in the postseason. Like, listen, the Nationals are up 3-0. They're going to win the series. This is kind of the game. This is kind of the pride game, I think, Corey, you know? Like, I think they come out, Cardinals win this game here. They get one at least, and then the Nationals are going to kill them the next game.
All right, so there you go. That's it right there. Big piece of chicken, Benny. I got to give mines to I give it to Booger McFarland for the excellent job he did in the fourth quarter last night with those 2 terrible calls and how he flamed the NFL for that.
All right, well, good. That's good. At least Booger's got something in the positive column for him right now. I'm going to give mine to Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams picks up 100 yards rushing last night on 14 carries, actually out-touched Aaron Jones, and he scored a touchdown for me at plus 400. So not only did he make me money, but he made everybody else who backed the money. I had him on the showdown slate last night. I actually also had Aaron Jones, which didn't work out as well. But, between the two of them, they wound up getting a job done for me there. So big piece of chicken, Jamal Williams. You earned it last night, and that's going to be a shit show going forward with a near 50-50.
It certainly is, Aaron Jones backers. You have to worry about that. All right, let's get ready to get up out of here. For my main man, Benny Ricciardi, and Corey Parson, the fantasy executive, the opening line, we are out.